it is rather hard dying on it. Those that do, I don't blame you for not knowing the game as everyone else. It is not a joke that even I died on beginner in the first stages because I didn't know the game.
God, it's Chainsaw Massacre time.
Woohoo! Burn. Toasty. And if you're a level 0, it's rather easy to die on things that you think is easy.
I'm moving. See when you've got the job done.
That's so. Whoa!
Shop will open soon, lads. Head
Damn,
this
she
way.
scared me. And yes, enemies can actually scare you, especially stalkers, since they are, however, invisible. Woohoo!
I like the big ones, don't you?
Yes, I do like the big ones. As said, I will go through each class in detail. As you can basically gather, the Firebug is rather crowd control rather than a single damager, though he can still whip out a lot of damage on single targets without much problems. Same as his weapons are rather cheap, so it's rather nice to actually play as him. Same as, like, if you get him up to level 6, that's even better. I think he starts with the flamethrower, which is a ton of help, especially in later difficulty levels where a lot of damage needs to be done. Though the sad part is he will probably just start with 200. Oh, look at that. It's a hand cannon. Ooh. Though, as you probably can see, I'm utilizing this little hidey hole to most of my advances.
You know what to do with him.
You heard that? That was a flesh pounder. And he's right over there. Now he will charge me. And there he is, dead. And he lost both arms.
Stay sharp.
As said, the flame thrower does a lot of damage over DPS, since first you do damage by the actual spurt of the fire, then you do even more damage by that
I'm ready and waiting.
it burns them.
Watch where you are.
That's damage over time, basically. And the more you can throw at them, the more damage it does.
Come and get him.
So,
Lovely big guns.
and all in all, it's a really good class to be alone as well in a group. Though the group has to be rather skilled to not just focus on that the Firebug should take out every single enemy. They all have to work together. That's why it's an survival. Which I have been in a few groups where everyone is like running around, letting the Firebug doing the smaller mobs rather the large mobs. Now, I don't really have any problems with that, but when you don't have a sharpshooter that can actually pinpoint and shoot and kill the actual what are they called? Flesh bounders in a few shots. The whole party can be doomed by that. So you have to learn to work together to be successful. And when you meet the Patriarch, which has like 1600 HP in normal, when you have a full party of 6 people, then you start to work together to try and take his HP down, since each heal takes him back to full health. Oh, 2 in 1 shot.
I'm moving. See when you've got the job done.
Hey. No, you don't. Whoa! God damn it. I hate you, husks. I hate you. As said, crowd control.
You've nearly got them all. I want you close, babe.
We had a lot of enemies coming in from that place, so I just
I'll tool you up.
pressed my
Just right.
mouse button in a few times, and a lot of them actually died, because first they took damage from the first one took damage from the actual beam from the flamethrower, or flame rather, however you want to pronounce it, or whatever. And the rest around him took damage from the actual fire, which spread from his body, which set them on fire as well. So I didn't really need to like press all the time. I could have pressed once and let them see them burn to death. Though the thing is, they can actually extinguish the fire before it kills them, so it can be rather good to keep on pressing that fire button. Oh look, a shotgun. Shotgun. More on that later. More about the special weapons for this guy. Well, as said, the Mach 10, this gun, is like an Uzi. It ain't really accurate, though it is more accurate with the Firebug than everyone else. And the flamethrower
That's
is
some
rather...
good stuff I sold you. Put it to good use.
It's accurate in close and mid-ranged combat sometimes.
If you leave long enough, I'll be here.
Whoa. I'm retreating into my little hideout, and I ran out of ammo. Now we will see Maslack.
I want you close, babe.
As seen, it took out them all in just a few. Oh. A scrag! Ah!
I like the big ones, don't you?
When you just have one enemy left, you can actually burst out like that and try to kill them all. It can be good, it can be suicidal, depending on what enemy it is. On harder difficulty levels, I wouldn't really recommend doing that to a scrag unless you're a commando or a shotgun wielding support specialist. More on that later. So, what is my recommendations for the Firebug? Get the flamethrower as fast as possible. Always the flamethrower before body armor. Body armor can wait 1 round, I believe. The flamethrower is the Firebug's best friend and the only way for him to level. So it is rather good to have it. And he also gets like 20% more damage with it in the first level or so. Oh, look at that, 6,100 620k damage. Yay. Only like 888k more. Yay. Next I will probably cover the sharpshooter, and this is lapsed in 22 minutes. And this is wave 10, so that's a good thing. Ooh, a scrag. The names on the enemies are rather fun. Flesh Pounder, you can basically understand why. Since he pounds flesh. Whoa! The Stalker, basically invisible. The Crawler. The Crawler is basically the ones that jump on you, can be rather hard to target as. The Bloat are puking assholes. They're also fat.
Something really big's coming. Stop.
Woohoo! Something big! You have basically the first enemy, the Clot, which grabs you. Then you get to meet the Bloat in the same round, I believe, which many times can be a life hazard, especially if he pukes on you. Now that is surely irritating. Then you have the fast gore, which does huge amount of damage, and they can actually die by bleeding out. They have one lost